Hey, this is Margaret Lynch from MargaretLynch.com, creator of the Stand Out and Get Paid Like a Rock Star program. So in this video, I want to show you a very specific example of how you can sprinkle your credibility into things that you say so that you can immediately separate yourself, that you can stand out, and that your authority and your credibility raises in people's eyes. Now, this is really interesting for so many of us who have changed careers midlife and we're now doing the thing that we love. But we forget that we had an entire life and past before then that may not relate to what we do now. So we forget about it, and we forget that that previous life is rich with authority and credibility building nuggets that will change the way people see us when we speak. They will see a higher level of belief and trust and credibility and authority in us, and that is good because people who have more credibility and authority get paid more. And it makes me crazy that so many amazing, talented people have stepped into doing something new, and then they're like, oh, I'm new at this. And that's what they talk about, instead of mentioning that they were an attorney for 10 years, working in court and winning millions of cases, and now they bring all of that richness and experience to what they do now. So I want to give you a very specific example so you can see how it works, okay? One of my clients is an empowerment coach, and she was relatively new to coaching this a couple years ago. And she really couldn't bring anything into her credibility because in her mind, she hadn't worked with that many people. And so I had to go digging, as my friend Bethany Long says. I had to excavate. I had to go digging. I had to keep questioning her. Well, what did you do before? What did your life look before? And she said, well, it doesn't really relate because I was a pastor of a church. And I'm like, okay, as the pastor of a church, how many people did you speak to? She was like, well, hundreds of people every single week. I'm like, okay. So as a coach, you don't think it would create credibility for you, the fact that you got up in front of what would terrify a lot of people, hundreds of people week in and week out, and gave them inspiration? And so this is how it sounded when we sprinkled it in with some of her videos with her as a coach. It sounded like this. For example, she wanted to talk about procrastination, something that a lot of coaches help their clients with, right? And so she said, in this video, I want to teach you about how to, a strategy to get out of procrastination, for example, right? Now she goes into a little bit about herself. I really relate to procrastination because before I was a coach, I was actually a reverend for 20 years at a church. And I would get up week in and week out and speak in front of hundreds of people who would come there to hear my sermon, to hear me give them love and support and inspiration. And sometimes I was tired and human, and I would procrastinate getting prepared for all of those people who were there to see me. And so I needed a way to shift myself out of the procrastination so I could do my best for all those people who were waiting to hear from me. And so I came up with this little strategy, and then she delivers the strategy. Now, hearing I'm a coach and I'm going to teach you a strategy versus I'm a coach and the way that she explained it, do you see the difference in how you see and hear somebody when you're now picturing them as somebody who for 10 years got up and spoke in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, giving them love and support and inspiration? That just painted a whole picture. And so I wanted you to see how you can take empowerment coach and sprinkle in a way that creates authority and credibility and paints a picture, a bigger picture of who you are by using your past. And so I hope that example and that way of scripting it was helpful. And if so, please do leave me a comment. This is Margaret Lynch, MargaretLynch.com, enjoying bringing you another strategy, another marketing strategy that is going to help you stand out and get paid and be seen as the incredible expert and authority that you really are. See you on the next video.